Welcome back to another Pixel Game Maker tutorial. Today we're going to go over the exporting options. So even if you do know how to export your game, there still might be some information in this video that will be helpful for you. So with that said, let's get started. So first off, when you're ready to build a game, you're going to go to File and you're going to go to Build Game, and you're going to have all these options pop up. So the main options are down here. First off, this enable debugging function, I would actually recommend never to use this option. All it's going to do is bloat your game. It's going to send in the debugging package runtime with the game, and it's going to bloat at about a couple hundred megabytes. So I would recommend not using that if you're making a serious build. The other one is to create the save data in the same folder. Now this one I actually prefer to create it in the same folder. If you don't, however, if you didn't know where to find them, all you would have to do is go to your C drive here, go to users, and it's going to be in your users folder basically. If you don't have hidden items, click on view and click hidden items. Then you're going to find a folder called app data. And then in local, this is where the save file is actually going to be. So you can see some PGM games right off the bat here. This is where the save file is going to be. Otherwise, when you build the game, it's actually just going to be inside the game's folder. So personally, I like that. So usually I use that option. The next thing you're going to see is the encryption. Now I will use encryption just so that my resources are somewhat safe. Obviously, they're not 100% safe, but we can get into that later. If you do use encryption, I would definitely recommend using an encryption key. And the important thing to know about this encryption key is to keep the password the same between all your builds. So say this is like the third time I built this game because I improved something, I would keep the encryption key the same. Otherwise, the save file is not going to be able to recognize it. And so the user will have to start over because they won't be able to use any of their saves. So just a weird password 1234, which I don't recommend. And every build, I would make sure that I have this password. So save the password if you use it. Always use the same password on an official release game. Obviously, if it's just a alpha demo, something like that, you don't really need to worry about that. But yes, I would always use encryption, and make sure if you use encryption, always use an encryption key. It's just, they go hand to hand together. If you leave this blank and you try to build a new version of your game, the save files will not be compatible if you only use encryption. So again, always use an encryption key, use the same password. And then the last option that we have is just where you want to output it. Then, which by default is going to be documents output folder. And if there is no output folder, it will create one. I'm going to hit OK here, and it's not going to be empty. So we have to select here, and you can see that I just have a few projects in there. So I'm going to make one, I'll just call this CE output, and I'll select that folder, and now it should work. All right, when we click OK, the folder is going to pop up right away, and then we can just play on the test here. And so this was a game that me and Ben Baba made a while ago. We never got to finish it before we had to leave it, but it was a pretty cool game, Zelda-like here. Anyway, I hope this video was helpful. Hope you learned something. And any questions, comments below, Steam forums, Discord will get you figured out. With that said, I will see you at the next video.